Let us start the next part of the lesson. Parts of skeleton. The skeletal system is composed of bones and related structures that aid body movement. That means the skeletal system is made up of bones and related structures. What are related structures? The muscles, then the tendons, ligaments. These all related structures. It is all work together to make the framework. And this skeletal system is divided into two parts. Two divisions are the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of the bones along the axis or the central line of the human body. So the central human body will be having the axial skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of the skull, facial bones, sternum, ribs and the vertebral column. These all constitute together the axial skeleton. In this axial skeleton, the first comes the skull. Skull is a hard structure made up of small bones. It is the immovable bones. We cannot move the bones of the skull. It is immovable and it comes under axial skeleton. It is formed of 22 bones. So our skull is made up of how many bones? 22 bones, and 8 bones are fused together to form the cranium. Cranium is the outer covering of the brain. So this 8 out of this 22, 8 bones are made up of cranium, and 14 bones fuse to form the face, and the rest of the 14 bones join together to form our face bones. The only bone which has a movable joint is the lower jaw. So in the skull part there are 22 bones. In that 14 bones forms the face bone and 8 bones forms the cranium, and in that only one is the movable joint, that is the lower jaw. So this is the first part of the axial skeleton. Next comes the facial bones. So facial bones are made up of how many bones? The 14 bones. And then sternum, ribs and the vertebral column. So this is the diagrammatic representation of how they are divided the skeleton. See, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Skull protects the brain, and in the axial skeleton, ribs and sternum protects the heart, lungs and the liver, and the vertebral column protects the spinal cord. In the appendicular skeleton, it is divided into pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle forms the upper limbs, that is our arms or our hands. Pelvic girdle is the lower limbs of the legs. Okay, so the skeleton is divided into parts: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Under the axial skeleton we have the skull, ribs and sternum and the vertebral column. Appendicular skeleton again pectoral and pelvic. Pectoral forms the hands and the pelvic forms the legs. And the muscles. The movable joint is supposed by muscles, ligaments. Skull placed on the top of the backbone can be moved up, down and sidewards. The skull placed on the top of the backbone that can be moved up, down and sideways. So only we can bend on all the sides. Next comes the vertebral column, through which the spinal cord. Vertebral column is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column. The vertebral column running at the back of the body is called as the spine or the backbone. Vertebral column is made up of individual bones called as the vertebrae. Each is made up of single bones, that is called as the vertebrae. Total vertebral column consists of 7 vertebrae, 12 lumbar vertebrae, 5 fused sacral and 3 fused coccygeal vertebrae. So the vertebrae, how it is divided, see, it is shown in the picture also. So how many total how these 33 vertebrae are divided into 7 cervical, 12 lumbar, 5 fused together to form the sacral and the 3 fused to form the coccygeal. You can see here clearly in the picture. So vertebral column runs from the base of the skull to the hip bone, forming the tube. Inside there is a vertebral column tube, only the spinal cord moves. Vertebrae are joined by gliding points which allow the body to bend back, front or sideways. So it helps the body to bend backwards, forwards, sideways or and this by this vertebral column. And what is the function of this vertebral column? It protects the spinal cord. And the very important function is it protects the spinal cord. It supports the head. It serves as the attachment for the ribs. It provides support and place of the attachment for the pectoral and the pelvic girdle. It provides the movement for the human skeleton. It helps in walking and standing erect with the correct posture. So, because of this vertebral column only we can stand erect. The spinal cord is protected. It is connected in the front to the ribs. The 12 pairs of ribs are there which protect the heart and the lungs. And to this vertebral column only our pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle is attached. Now next comes the topic is the sternum or the rib cage. Rib cage occupies the chest region. It is a cone-shaped structure made up of 12 pairs of ribs. Ribs are attached to vertebrae at the back which curve around to form a cage. So these are ribs are attached to vertebrae at the back which curve around to form a cage-like structure, so that in that only the heart and the lungs are protected. 10 pairs of ribs are attached to the breastbone in the front. 10 pairs of ribs are attached together in the front by the breastbone. 2 pairs of lower ribs are free at front. 2 pairs of lower ribs, they are called as the floating ribs. Rib cage is set up in such a way that it can contract and expand during the process of breathing. It can move up and down, so that during the breathing when the lungs expands, when the air is filled, according to that the ribs also move up and down. Rib cage protects the underlying lungs, heart and some parts of the liver. Okay, so this is the explanation for ribs. There are how many pairs of ribs? 12 pairs of ribs. In that 10 pairs are attached to the breastbone and the 2 are the floating ribs. Then comes the do you know human and giraffes have the same number of bones in the necks, but the vertebrae in the giraffe neck are much larger. Much larger means it is more, so the neck is very lengthy for the giraffe. Next comes the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton contains the bones in the appendages of the body. Appendages means which helps in the movement is called as appendages of body, as well as the structure that connects the appendages to the axial skeleton. Especially the appendicular skeleton comprises the shoulder girdle. There where the hands are attached is the shoulder girdle, the arm, the wrist and the hand bones, the pelvic girdle and the leg angle and the foot bones. Shoulder bones or the pectoral bone. Shoulder bone is formed by collarbone at front and the shoulder blade at the back. That black flat like thing is behind our hands, that is the shoulder blade, and in the front the collarbone is there near to the neck region, the front side. The collarbone is supported by breastbone at one end of the shoulder blade at the other end. The shoulder bone encloses a socket-like cavity into which fixes the ball of the upper arm. We studied in the previous class that the ball and socket joint, which helps to have a smooth movement of the hands. So inside the socket only that bone is fixed, so that it can have a nice movement. The forms the ball and socket joint. This girdle is also called as the pectoral girdle. So the bones which is near to the shoulder, it is called as the pectoral girdle. Next, the pelvic, where our legs are attached. The pelvic bone is also called as the pelvic girdle. It is made of strong bones or balance entire the weight of the body. Pelvic girdle is formed by 5 fused vertebrae at the back and form a cavity in the center while reaching the front of the part. The thigh bones are attached to the either side of the girdle with the ball and the socket joint. Our leg also, the front side and back side we can move, but like hands we can't rotate at the back. So it is also near to the waist side we have the ball and socket joint, so only we can rotate our waist. Arm bone. Arm bone is the upper limb made up of humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. See, radius and ulna is marked in the diagram. Humerus is the near to the upper arm, and humerus makes up the upper arm. Forearm is made up of radius and ulna. Wrist is made up of carpals. Carpals means the 5 digits. Palm is made up of metacarpals. The small, one single digit is called as metacarpals. Fingers are made up of phalanges. So these are the things. The palm is made up of metacarpals, means inside the palm there the bones are there, that is called as metacarpals. Wrist is made up of carpals. Then comes the palm, that is metacarpals, and the fingers, each digit fingers are made up of phalanges. The same thing for the leg bones also. It is also having 5 digits, isn't it? So leg bone is the lower limb made up of femur, tibia and fibula. Tarsals is the ankles. Metatarsals is the Ankle part, tarsals is the like wrist, how it is the joint between the ankle and the leg, that is called as tarsals. Metatarsals are the ankle part, and the phalanges are the toes. All these bones are joined by hinge. Hinge means what? Only one side movement will be there. It cannot be rotated back. That is called as hinge joint. Joints which allow the limb to move only in one direction. Knee is covered by a cap-like structure called as patella or the kneecap. So the kneecap or the patella, the knees are made up of or covered by. Femur makes the thigh bone. It is the longest bone. It is the femur, the thigh bone. Legs is made up of tibia and fibula. Ankle is made up of tarsals. Foot is made of metatarsals. Toes are made up of phalanges. Now next comes the topic is muscles. Without, only if the bones are there, where if there is no muscles, we cannot do any movement in our body. So the muscles plays an important role in the movement. The muscles in the body provide the means of all movements. Muscles helps to maintain the body posture by sitting, standing and walking. Most muscles are long bundles of contractile tissues. Each muscle usually has two ends, a fixed end where the muscle originates and a movable end which pulls some other part. It has a fixed end.